to delusion.
to delusion. You know, switching topics for a sec.
Yeah.
You know, lots of people say they're always depressed, they're always anxious. People need to just stop thinking and live in the present.
Yeah.
You can always be depressed about the past, be anxious about the future, but in doing that, you can never truly be happy in the present.
And you see, you talk about that, and I agree with that completely. And the way I think about that sometimes is I like to visualize myself as energy, right? Just think of yourself as that, this flowing energy. And if you let yourself flow too much into the future, it's like you're thinking on the future too much. You just imagine that energy dissipating from the current you that's here, going towards the future, and just diminishing the you that's here. You're getting weaker and smaller.
Yeah.
So you're doing the same thing about the past. You're spreading the energy going that way. When you're anxious, even being anxious, the energy is just scattered all over the place, and you're just weakening yourself. What you want to do is keep that energy and focus it all in one singular place and condense it. And that actually pulls people in. It makes you more impressive, a more impressive presence. When you enter a room, people look more because you are there completely. When you enter a conversation, you see, like when I'm talking to you right now, when I'm making eye contact, and you are taken in by my words, and I'm taken in by yours. This right here is presence. We don't even know that camera is there. I completely forgot this was being recorded.
You know, and another thing about that topic, you know, everyone's facing some kind of struggle, some kind of battle.
Right.
But if you're always thinking about that negativity, you'll never be happy.
Correct.
No matter where you are in life, no matter how successful you may be, there will always be something negative to think about.
Yeah.
And you just can't bring that negativity in.
Right.
Also, just never be happy.
Correct. Yeah. And the thing about the negativity is it's going to happen. You know, it's going to happen.
But worry about that when it's the time.
Exactly. And when it happens, just let it happen. Just let it happen. You ever listen to Tame Impala? Just let it happen. Just let it happen, bro. Let it just run through. You know, like how the Caribbean, right? I'm from the Caribbean. We're used to hurricanes. Hurricanes happen, you know, in the summer season when it gets hot. You see, when it gets hot, you have to have the hurricanes to come in to cool it down. There is balance in nature everywhere. I even made a video about this previously, but I don't think people understand that everything in life, they like to think about it as, oh my God, everything bad happens to me. No, if you let it compound, if you react to it in a negative way, then it builds and snowballs. You don't want to do that. Let it pass as a wave, and then the positive will come. Just let it flow like that. Positive wave, negative wave. Positive wave, negative wave. And just be chill with it. That is existence. That is life. And that's cool. That should be cool. Yeah.
And some things are out of people's control. You know, unfortunately, people deal with diseases, cancer. They need treatments. But that treatment's not 24/7 every day. Sometimes it could be.
Yeah.
But the times you're not facing treatment, for instance, you can be happy, enjoy life, spending time with your loved ones.
Right.
Be happy about those moments. And when you have treatment, for instance, you can, you know, worry about that when the time comes.
Yeah, I fully agree with that. I mean, most things are not going to be in your control.
Oh, yeah.
The only things that are within our control are the decisions we get when we can control those.
Correct.
So things happen, life happens, and then you get like a decision. Go left, go right. Those you have control over. Those are the only things. But outside of that, just let it all go because you have zero control. You cannot stop nature. That shit does what it wants to do. If a hurricane decides to show up, if a tornado decides to blow through here, there is jack shit that we can do. It just has to happen. Yeah?
People pass away, your car breaks down, you get different diseases, natural disasters, or homes are taken away. Everything you work your whole life for.
Yep.
Got to move on.
Have to.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the only way you're going to ever get past that.
Yep. Yep. When life decides to strike, you are nothing. You are nothing in the face of nature. Oh, yeah. But that's, you know, just, I even used to, a lot of people, when the rain starts to fall, we run and we try to get to shelter. But recently, I've just started to just walk in the rain and just like look up at the sky and feel it on my face and even kind of listen to some music and dance in the rain because...
Just relax.
Just,
so be it.
Yeah. It's just a mindset shift, and it's just been so much more enjoyable, you know, to just know that the rain is something that can be enjoyed. It's a part of nature. It's supposed to happen. And it just depends on how you look at it. You can be wet or you can just be outside having fun, you know? It's kind of like you're at the beach, except you're not swimming in the water. You're just dancing around it as it falls on you, you know? Yeah. Yeah. It's all in here.
Now, here's another thing. People are also just too afraid to be themselves. They worry too much about what other people think.
Right.
And in doing that, you know, the most successful people in the world, they don't worry about what other people will think about them. People, in fact, may laugh at them just for being different. And then when the time comes, they'll be the ones laughing on the inside, you know?
Man.
They'll be thankful for all they're able to accomplish, ignoring everyone else's feelings.
Honestly, you say laugh, but I don't even think they laugh. They probably just don't even see everybody else. Everybody else just seems non-existent, because even if you think about somebody like how a business person thinks, right? Say a holiday comes around. Let's say Valentine's Day, for example, right? You probably have a bunch of girls running around. Oh my God, that looks so cute. The hearts, and all the pink. Let's go in there and eat chocolate, right? And you just think to yourself, that sign, those colors, this whole setup caught the attention of these people right here. Now, how can I replicate that for myself? How can I do this better? How can I improve on it? Right? You don't want to go in there and just consume as a regular consumer. That's how the consumer mind thinks.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it makes things a little bit less enjoyable, and you might see it as maybe it makes you dull, but that's not it. Sometimes you have to kind of step back outside of the business thinking and remember that, life is there, and it's a difficult balance to strike, but some people are just built different like that. Personally, I have to remind myself to come back down to like the human level kind of, and it's enjoy things as they are and stop looking at things so systematically.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's how some of us are.
Sure.
Yeah. They probably don't care about these consumers. They just see them as consumers.
Yeah. Here's another thing that people don't realize. They need to know their self-worth. Go ahead and know your self-worth. But don't let someone tell you, you can't accomplish this.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead and prove them wrong.
Yeah. And you say that, and that reminds me of a conversation I had recently with a group of folks. They said something. They said, that's how the world is. That's how the world works. I hate that saying, because the world is comprised of you, me, the people in it. Just like how they say, oh, that's just how this school is. No, this school is the students in it. You constitute this school. You are what makes this school the way it is. So if you decide today, if everybody decides that this isn't how it's going to be anymore, immediately that change will take effect. So that bullshit, weak fucking mindset, I hate it so much. That's how things are. No, you have the ability to change it. Every single one of us have that ability. You just choose to not act on it. It's better you just say, oh, I just can't be bothered by it. I would respect that answer so much more. Just say you can't be bothered.
Well, naturally, people will act on it, but it takes time. That's why changes are happening over time.
Right. So these changes that are happening are just changes that were going to happen inevitably.
Yeah.
People like you and me, the world changes, the people who push back, but then everybody else is just, it's just the excuses. It's just the hiding away from the realities.
They get comfortable.
Mm-hmm. And when you start to actually propose solutions around these people, I realize it's like reflexive, they start to make jokes, things to go away from the conversation, to go back to something superficial. Exactly. They don't want to dive deep. They don't want to solve. They just want to stay on the surface and dance around to children.
Well, if you're 30 years old, do you want someone telling you, hey, you've been doing your life wrong?
That's the thing. It's hard. It's really difficult to accept that things could have been different for you. So you rather just hold on to the way you've been doing things so far and continue. Sunk cost fallacy.
Yep.
Everybody's just under this. They're just tricking themselves. They're all delusional, honestly. It's a delusion.
It's a delusion.
I think that's good. Yeah.
I think that's a good life.